You're drowning in debt, your phone won't stop ringing, and someone just whispered two words that either sound like salvation or a death sentence: debt settlement or bankruptcy. Millions of Americans face this exact crossroads every year, and the choice they make can echo through their financial lives for a decade or more. Let's back up and understand what actually got us here, because it's rarely just bad luck. It's a cocktail of medical bills, job loss, credit card creep, and a system that makes borrowing feel like breathing. The machinery of consumer debt is designed to keep you in it, and by the time most people are Googling debt relief options, they're already years deep into a hole that compound interest dug for them. Debt settlement sounds almost romantic. You negotiate, you pay less than you owe, you walk away lighter. But what they don't put in the brochure is that it wrecks your credit. The forgiven amount can be taxed as income, and creditors aren't legally obligated to play ball. Bankruptcy, on the other hand, is the nuclear option, powerful, federally protected, and carrying a stigma so heavy it might as well come with its own sad trombone. There was a moment, maybe 2015, 2016, where debt relief companies were everywhere. Late night ads, daytime TV, promising to cut your debt in half like some kind of financial infomercial magic. That optimism faded fast once people realized the settlement process could take 2 to 4 years, tank their credit, and leave them fielding lawsuits from creditors who refuse to negotiate. The gap between the pitch and the reality is, to put it kindly, comedic. Psychologically, choosing between these two options is like choosing between a slow burn and a controlled explosion. Neither feels good, but one might actually clear the field faster. Experts like financial therapist Barry Tesler remind us that money decisions are almost never purely rational. Shame, fear, and denial keep people paralyzed when they should be acting. The irony is that the people who need these tools most are often the ones most afraid to use them. Historically, bankruptcy filings spike during recessions. After 2008, filings hit over 1.5 million in a single year, which means you are absolutely not alone and never have been. Every cycle of easy credit is followed by a wave of defaults, settlements, and fresh starts, as predictable as the seasons and twice as cold. The system creates the crisis, then sells you the solution. Here's where it fits in the bigger picture. Debt resolution, whether through settlement or bankruptcy, is just one chapter in the longer, cyclical story of credit expansion and contraction that economies have run on for centuries. Communities and forums, like Reddit's personal finance threads, are full of people who've been through both paths, sharing hard-won wisdom that no financial advisor will give you for free. Their collective verdict? The right choice depends almost entirely on your specific situation, and anyone who tells you otherwise is selling something. Let's kill a few myths right now, because misinformation here is genuinely dangerous. Myth 1, bankruptcy ruins your life forever. False. Chapter 7 stays on your credit for 10 years, but many people rebuild solid credit within 2 to 3 years. Myth 2, debt settlement is always cheaper. Also false. Once you factor in taxes on forgiven debt, fees to settlement companies, and credit damage, you might actually come out worse than if you filed. So when is debt settlement actually the right move? It makes sense if you have a lump sum available to negotiate with, your debt is primarily unsecured like credit cards, and you're not facing lawsuits yet. It's the wrong move if you're living paycheck to paycheck with no cash reserves, because you'll spend years in a settlement program while interest and penalties pile up like a bad sequel nobody asked for. Bankruptcy, specifically Chapter 7, is the right call when your debt is overwhelming, your income is below the means test threshold, and you need a hard legal stop to collection actions now. Chapter 13 is better when you have regular income and want to keep assets like a home while restructuring what you owe over 3 to 5 years. Neither is shameful. Both are legal tools written into federal law for exactly the moment you're in. The disciplined move here is not about which option sounds better at a dinner party. It's about running your actual numbers with an actual professional before committing to either path. Position size matters in investing, and in debt resolution, the equivalent is knowing exactly what you owe to whom, whether it's secured or unsecured, and what your monthly cash flow actually looks like, stripped of all the optimism. Emotion is the enemy of good financial decisions, And this decision especially demands a cold, clear spreadsheet and not a panic attack. The philosophical truth underneath all of this is simple. A fresh start only works if you change the behaviors that led to the crisis. Otherwise, you're just resetting the clock. Discipline, consistency, and a realistic plan matter infinitely more than which specific legal or financial mechanism you use to get out. The path forward is less about the escape hatch and more about what you build on the other side of it. Whether you choose settlement, bankruptcy, or some hybrid approach, what matters is that you make the choice deliberately, with full information and without shame, because the financial system is not designed in your favor. And using every legal tool available to you is not weakness, it's strategy. You didn't build this debt in a day, and you won't resolve it in one either. So give yourself the grace of a process and the discipline to stick to it. And if you're ready to take the next step, whether that's real estate investing, home contracting work, or finding the right lender, check out our links in the description below.